Marc Márquez caused a stir in the paddock once again after devising a crazy strategy that stunned even Gigi Dall'Igna at the Japanese Grand Prix. The paddock immediately began buzzing with discussions about this bold move, and all eyes were on Marquez. Everyone wondered what Marquez was planning this time. Could this strategy be the key to securing his victory and solidifying his dominance this season? Let's discuss it. Entering the 15th round of the season, Marquez arrived in Japan with a substantial points lead, which gave him more confidence as he headed toward the end of the season. However, instead of his usual aggressive FP1 performance, Marquez appeared more composed. He didn't seem to be pushing to be the fastest, but rather maintaining his pace to stay at the front and gather important data for the next session. Marco Bezzecchi set the best time early in the session, fueling the enthusiasm of his Ducati rivals. In the final minutes, however, Pecco Bagnaia seized the top spot with an impressive time of 1 minute, 44.857 seconds, the only rider to break the 1:45 mark. Jorge Martin of Aprilia surprised everyone by closing in on second place. Marquez rounded out the top three, finishing just 0.102 seconds behind Bagnaia, a very narrow gap, considering Marquez didn't seem to be pushing his bike's performance. For Marquez, this position was clearly not a disappointment. Instead, it appeared to be part of a carefully crafted strategy. By not pushing himself in FP1, he could study the telemetry data, observe his opponent's attack patterns, and adjust his bike settings for the crucial session ahead. Free practice is not the place to take excessive risks. My focus is on maintaining my rhythm, studying every detail of the track, and preparing for the race, Marquez said calmly in the post-session interview. Marc Márquez's changes in riding style this season are becoming increasingly evident. In the past, he was known as a rider who pushed hard from the start, often taking high risks to be the fastest in practice sessions. This often led to him crashing or running out of energy on race day. Now, however, the Marquez we see is a very different person, more mature, patient, and measured. Some MotoGP observers believe that Marquez's relaxed demeanour is a terrifying secret weapon against his rivals. He no longer wastes energy trying to be the fastest in every session. He knows when to hold back and when to attack. This is what makes him so dangerous on race day, according to one MotoGP analyst. Marquez's ability to manage his rhythm and avoid excessive risks is considered a natural evolution for a seasoned world champion. This strategy proved effective in the 2025 season. Although he didn't always lead in practice or take pole position, Marquez repeatedly dominated races and ended the weekend with wins. Consistency, patience, and composure have been key to his resurgence since moving to Ducati Lenovo. As a result, he is now an increasingly difficult opponent to beat because Marquez is not only fast, but also adept at reading the race and managing the psychology of his opponents. Bagnaia and Marquez's dominance in FP1 made Ducati management increasingly optimistic about the rest of the weekend. The two factory riders finished first and third, proving that the Desmercedesi GP25's development is on track and capable of overcoming the technical challenges of the Motegi circuit, known for its hard braking. Today's performance demonstrates the hard work of the entire team. The bike is more stable, faster on the straights, and more agile in the corners. This is just a good start, and we are confident that there is still potential to be explored in qualifying and the race, a Ducati representative said confidently. However, amidst the smiles from Ducati management, internal tensions are emerging and becoming a topic of conversation in the paddock. According to several sources, Bagnaia is still trying to establish himself as the team's top rider, especially after some disappointing results in the first half of the season. Meanwhile, Marquez has a major mission: to win his first world title with Ducati and prove that he is still the king of MotoGP. This tension could spice up the duel between the two world champions, making the weekend at Motegi even more intriguing, heated, and dramatic. The Motegi circuit is renowned for its hard braking and rapid acceleration requirements, making it one of the most technical tracks on the MotoGP calendar. Engineers must work extra hard to find a bike setup that maintains stability during braking while providing optimal traction when exiting corners. Furthermore, The frequently changing weather from sunny to rainy in a matter of minutes presents additional risks that can dramatically alter the race's outcome. For Marquez, the Japanese round is not just another routine race, but a crucial moment that could determine the outcome of the world title. With a 182-point lead over his closest rival, Marquez's chances of securing his 8th Premier Class world title are becoming increasingly real. A victory at Motegi would cement his season-long dominance and mark one of the greatest comebacks in MotoGP history. The pressure is definitely there, especially at a track like Motegi, where small mistakes can have huge consequences, Marquez said at a press conference. But I won't change my mentality. I'll keep racing to win, as always. Ducati boss Gigi Dall'Igna couldn't hide his admiration for Marquez's calculated approach. During the press conference, he made a comment that sent the paddock into a frenzy. "This is the Marquez we've wanted from the start. He's a champion who can control himself and knows when to attack and when to gather data. Honestly, I'd rather see him in 3rd place with a well-thought-out plan than in 1st place with no plan at all." Dall'Igna then emphasised that Ducati would give Marquez its full support if he had the chance to clinch the title at Motegi. "If there's a chance to win the world title in Japan, we'll support him fully." A victory at Motegi would symbolise Ducati's new era perfectly. "We want Marquez to celebrate the world title on Honda's home turf. It would send a powerful message to all his rivals." This bold statement immediately sparked media speculation that Ducati was prepared to sacrifice Bagnaya's chances to help Marquez secure the title quickly. Jorge Martin, who finished 2nd in FP1, poses a serious threat to Ducati's ambitions. The Pramac rider was consistent and aggressive, setting a time only slightly slower than Marc Márquez's. Aprilia also appears increasingly competitive on technical tracks like Motegi, exploiting the bike's agility in every demanding section. If Martin can maintain his pace through qualifying, he could disrupt Ducati's dominance and force the factory riders to rethink their strategies. Meanwhile, Marco Bezzecchi crashed twice in FP1, which threw off his rhythm. He had to work extra hard with the team to improve his bike setup. Despite this, many believed that Bezzecchi would succeed with his aggressive riding style in the next session. Eager to turn things around and re-enter the podium hunt, he became increasingly aggressive in the subsequent laps, exploiting every small gap to pass his opponents. Despite finishing 3rd in FP1, Marc Márquez is clearly not a rider to be underestimated. His relaxed demeanour and intelligent strategy suggest that he's in it for the long haul. He has chosen to keep his training pace low, saving his peak performance for Sunday's race. With Bagnaia and Martin behind him and the chance to clinch the world title at Motegi, this weekend could be one of the most historic in Marquez's career. Will this relaxed strategy pay off with victory and the world title in Japan? Let us know your thoughts below.